time, come hang with the hippie, come enjoy the good vibe. Smoke up in the green room, smoke your worries away. In the green room, we'll stay in the green room. If you wanna get high, and you got the time, come hang with the hippie, come enjoy the good vibe. Smoke up in the green room, smoke your worries away. In the green room we'll stay, in the green room.
This production is brought to you by DHBN, WTHC Radio, and Stoner Records.
Hello, are we? Good evening. Hi, everybody. Welcome.
What's up?
I'm yelling good. Hi, Granny. How are you? You look beautiful.
I'm doing good. Thank you.
If I had real lips, I would whistle all night at you. You look like
Thank
sexy,
you.
like one of them sexy hippie chicks. You got a sundress on or no?
No.
My dreams. Anyway, Skunky, how are you, bro?
Confused.
Why are you so confused? We had a couple minutes with Kyle in the back, and we've gotten Skunky more confused. Now, listen, I was confused as well. We met Kyle. I don't know if anybody, you may have missed it, but we do shows on Sundays. If you're just getting here, we have a show bright and early in the morning. Oh, excuse me. Bright and early in the morning at 8 a.m. It's called The Grow Room, and that's with Jimmy Fresh and Mr. Mucho. And they talk about growing of the flower that we love so much here at WTHC Radio, our medicine. That being said, then we have another show in the afternoon at 4 p.m. that's following our afternoon metal takeover from 12 to 4. And then at 4 o'clock, Summer Parker and Patients for Safe Access come by, and they hang out, and they do a show. Last Sunday, they had Kyle on, and I help with that show in the back. I do the stuff down here in the bottom, down there. And Skunky was here, I'm sure, because he's confused. And so I'm confused too, and that's why we have Kyle back, because I had a lot of questions, and I'm sure. Well, I'm going to invite him up in a minute. Calm down, man.
Oh.
Get your
Don't confuse Skunky.
I am
confused. He's already had
he was here a minute ago.
He's still here, buddy. He's still here. Thank you, Rich. How are you, everybody? Jerry, it is so nice to see you out there. Curly Cal, thank you for joining us. Have a great night. You can go now. I know that's what you usually do. You'll be like, yeah, I watched.
She's busy. She's got stuff to do.
She has nothing to do.
She's busy.
The only do she's got is do.
Correct. Yes,
I love you, Cal. I know you're busy.
She's a do. We love you, Cal. Mwah.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. Everybody, Rich, thank you, everybody. All right, that being said, this is what is the name of the show? The Green Room. And I want to welcome Rich. Everybody, please. Oh, let me get my applause going.
Rich?
Please welcome Rich. Where the hell I read Rich? Over here. I want to welcome Rich over there in the chat. I want to welcome you, Rich, for being here. And of course, I want to welcome up Kyle. Kyle, come on up, for crying out loud.
There he is.
Oh.
Yay, hi, Kyle.
We got you in a little bit better of a speaker. The wind on the farm was a little too windy, so I had to step into the office here to get a little bit better of a sound signal for you.
I have an office like that on the farm too.
I mean, sometimes it's like a tractor, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
and it helps you get around. And it's a nice quiet escape when you need it.
All right.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being here.
Jerry says hi, Kyle.
Hi, Jerry.
Jerry over in the crowd over here says hi, Kyle. Thank you for being here. So I'm the hippie. I don't know if we've met, and that's Granny and Little Skunky. And
hi guys, how's it going?
Welcome to the Green Room, and thank you so very much for being here.
Hey, so it's an honor. It's an honor to be here with you guys, and I really appreciate the time.
Well, absolutely. Let's get right into it because I'm going to let Skunky go first. He's got some questions. He's a concerned citizen, I guess, and he wants to know. And I don't worry about anything, Skunky. You talk your heart.
Say the skunky things.
Yes.
As we were talking in the back, I'm confused on if we're trying to get medicine for people, and we're advocating. I believe we're advocating to people who don't believe the same as us to get them to come aboard.
That's one of our things that we do. That's one of many things.
With that said, when we show them all the crap we find in our medicine, are we scaring them away? Is what my concern is.
Yeah, we don't want to scare people. That's a big no-no.
Skunky. Can I try to answer Kyle a little bit, and then you can help if you can.
For sure.
So, Skunky, like I said, it's only one of many things that we try to do. If I were to take a pill for my anxiety, there are 7 million trillion little things in there that I don't know what the fuck they are, right? So if I go and I get my marijuana tested and it's only got a little bit of lead, first of all, I never cared before because I've been smoking since I was a wee little hippie, and now I'm a big hippie, And so, but now, I mean, of course, we want it to be safe, so we're trying to make sure that we get safe stuff. And it's just us going above and beyond our, if I were to take a little blue pill to get myself hard, we don't know what's in there. Sorry.
So it'll get caught in your throat.
It might get caught in my
I
throat.
think in a way, Skunky, if you look at it in our old school terms, what we're trying to do now is just a better, more thorough way of saying, don't buy from the guy on the corner because you don't know what the fuck he's mixed in that stuff.
Right.
Buy it from the guy in the decent house. Don't buy it from the guy on the corner.
Hold the people and the government responsible for giving us safe stuff. Okay. I know.
Yes,
go ahead. You got more questions. Go ahead, buddy.
Now, as far as like the lead, and I forget what all you found in
arsenic was in some of the stuff. We're going to talk about that. Summer is going to be again. Her show is probably going to be about that on Sunday. I'm pretty sure she'll be touching on that for sure. She's already revealed most of the stuff, and I'm gonna say I was pretty surprised with the results. I thought there would be a lot worse, and they did fairly good. She found some more today that had some fails, but overall, I think 8 out of 25 were fails, so a lot of them passed. But go ahead, sorry, Skunk.
Well, are we not going to talk about that tonight, or wait? I don't know what we're doing here now.
Kyle, I got plenty of questions. I just wanted to make sure you were ready to do what you wanted to do. Whenever you're ready, you're good.
Well, here's what I say. I looked it up, and lead and all those other whatevers are not present in marijuana.
Not supposed to be.
No.
Not supposed to be. No.
Wait a minute. So that is all added by man, correct? The chemicals we dump in it for food and what have you.
Well, the earth. How many cats were buried there beforehand? You don't know what's in, what it does. The whole thing is it's a whole system, bro. You don't know. But we're trying, that's why it's safer to grow indoors, I would think. Get your soil, make sure you have the proper soil, make sure your soil is tested. It's all about your personal preference. If you don't give a shit and you want to go smoke the shit off the dude on the corner, then go for it. We're not telling you. We're just telling this. I'm not telling you anything. These guys, Patients for Safe Access, and Kyle and everybody involved over there are that's just what they do. They want us to know that we have the ability to find out over there. We can go to them, and if we need to find something out, if you're getting sick and you don't know, and you're getting lead poisoning, I mean, it's not enough to give you lead poisoning, I don't think. No. But don't quote me. I should play my disclaimer before we get started here.
I think the girls when I was a kid that had lead paint on it.
I licked
Yeah.
paint. I licked lead paint, and then look at me now. I'm playing with puppets.
It's all in the testing, right? So like that goes down to like your soil too. Like even before I pull soil inside, on any farm, whether it's my homestead farm or, the canna farm,
Stop for
I
a
make
second.
sure that gets tested before we roll it out, right? And that's as simple as finding, a local ag extension or going to one of the cannabis testing facilities that are around. It's super easy to do. And even the outdoor guys, you should be testing your soil before you run outdoor, because there's ways that you can remediate that before you plant the medicine in there. That's the cool part. And we
All right,
can use
let's stop for a
the
second,
even cooler
Kyle.
part is we can use the same plant to clean that soil before we smoke it.
Oh my
That's
God!
the even better part.
Hemp there and let it do its work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then don't smoke that hemp. Use that hemp to like build yourself
As
a
a
barn
cleaner.
or something.
Build yourself
Yeah.
a studio out in the yard, so you have a studio and you don't have to hang out with your wife and
That
kids.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Grandchildren. Yeah.
Let's start over here for a second. Kyle, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody? I mean, I've already said your name 100 times, but Kyle, and I called you Rich once, but that's okay. That being said, why don't you tell everybody what you do and give us like a rundown of all, because you do numerous different things. You are an amazing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
I wear a lot of hats.
let everybody get an idea of who we're talking to before we go any further. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm Kyle, and I own a few businesses down here in Oklahoma. We started off with I was doing some chef work, and that kind of seeing what's in our foods, and seeing what I was feeding my clients at the time. I was working as a personal chef, and I was like, I don't really think this is the healthiest of options for my clients. So we started renting a little homestead farm down here and started developing some soil that I knew was going to be clean for my clients. And we started growing vegetables. And there was this cool thing that passed down here where I could get a grow license. So we went that route. And that's when the two farms thing started going on. And I was like, well, why do I have to have two farms? This is kind of silly. I'd really like to merge them both into one. But, with regulation, unfortunately, we have to have two, which is kind of silly, I think. But, we're getting there.
Let's not make them mad. Let's just follow the rules. Keep them happy.
Yep.
And see where it goes. See where it goes. It's still early in the process, so go ahead.
Exactly. And, I know my neighbors where I rent my homestead farm, some of them don't some of them aren't too appreciative. So we decided to be respectful, and we do our commercial operations elsewhere, keep the neighbors happy, and the homestead farm, what we do is my dad's he's a retired U.S. Marine, and he did some special forces stuff during the Gulf War.
Please thank him for his service from us.
Oh, will do. I'll give him a hug for you too. He's pretty awesome. I tried getting him to jump on with me, but he's not big on cameras and stuff, so he let me take that on. But so a lot of the homestead farm stuff, that was really built kind of for him. It's his little, it's like his little adult playground where he can smoke his reefer, and he can play with his chickens, and he can mess around with the soil. And a lot of the times he'll wake up and do the watering of the plants while I go water the other plants. And it's been a very full circle kind of therapy for him. And that's a little bit of what we've kind of been working on with the mom and son enterprises stuff, and doing the KY the Science Guys, a little bit of research into like not only the benefits of cannabis for PTSD, but like the cultivation aspect of that as well. And that's really like where the safe access for all the patients comes in. It's not only just for like safe access for people at home, it's safe access for our veterans and for our farmers. And New York had this really great program, and shouts out to the homies in New York that made it happen. But they have a they had a good like micro business and card thing where people were able to get in on that early. And, you know, some stuff happened where it got a little quadrupled, but I think they've made some really good strides at making up for the mistake that were made up there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'd like to see that same sort of similar access to where we bring the hemp to the farm stand, you know, kind of extended beyond just certain demographic areas. Let's make that, you know, nationwide. Let's make that global, because
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
we have, you know, more than just the patients in America. There's patients across the pond too that really need access to some safe medicine. I think
I got a
Yeah.
crazy friend over there. Yeah, he could use a lot of help. That some bitch.
Yeah, them guys
Oh,
in
yeah.
the UK.
Wait till the morning when you see that he's in bed now, but he'll be watching in the morning. You get some help. Oh no, I'm just kidding. I love you, Robert.
But yeah, so and that's what kind of brought me in, and that's what got me in with Summer was kind of talking about the safe access for our veterans, and that's really been the driving force for me, you know, is getting that really going, and you know, pushing things forward for my family and getting everything all situated. And I'm, you know, it's been a really fun experience, and it's also been kind of annoying jumping through the red tape of, you know, over regulation and stuff. That's been pretty detrimental.
I'm going to stop you there. We have to do a 420 song in a couple seconds. And
But I want to hear more about the overregulation.
Oh
Can
yeah.
you do a longer one? I got to pee.
all right.
Speaking of overregulation, hold on,
We'll do the longer one. We're going to do the longer one. It gives everybody a little bit of time so they can go potty or do whatever you need to do. All right. This is our friends Elevated Roots. One of our favorite songs, Bankrupt. Never
Yeah.
bankrupt again. Everybody happy
Never.
from everybody at WTHC and our friend Kyle King. I keep calling you King Kyle.
I mean, hey.
Oh man, that looks like it's our last one, man.
That is our last one, man.
Good thing we can scrape the pipe, bro. Never gonna be bankrupt again. 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 Gee! Morning had to scrape my pipe. Knew that when I went to bed last night. Had a premonition in my head that I never gonna wake bankrupt again. Jumped on my bike and pedaled downtown on the lookout for the one John Brown. Found him in a corner parking lot, smoking spliffs, and said, "Here, man, you want to take a hit?" I said, "I'm never gonna be bankrupt again. Never gonna be bankrupt again. Never gonna be bankrupt again. Never gonna be bankrupt again." Went back home to put the seeds in the soil. Compost recipe from brethren I know. Water pH to 6.1. Jah in control of always bring a flower to my friends. Always connecting to the music of medicine. Always finding ways to sing. Positivity and healing vibes. Always attracting my tribe. Always vulnerable to the tides. Always accountable for my strides. Holding on, not folding beyond. Letting go and letting you know. Bankrupt isn't never gonna be a part of my flow. I said I'm never gonna be bankrupt again. 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 Driving around, I see John Brown. Him said, dead dumb and him said, him never gonna be bankrupt again. I said, hey John Brown, can I give you a hand so that you yourself will never be bankrupt again? I said, never gonna be bankrupt again. 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 Wow!
And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. Kyle is still dropping number 2. He had to go number 2. So he'll be back in a minute. Number 2. Kyle, we're back.
Oh,
Hey, buddy. Oh, you went inside now.
The invisible man.
okay. All right.
All right. We can't see
He's
you.
changing. He's got us all confused.
I
He's
mean,
like a
I-
magician.
We've seen. He said he was
Yeah,
going to
just
give us a view of the
pop in
farm.
and pop out.
We've seen everywhere now. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So where we left off, you had said something and I cut you off. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're all right. It was 420, so we needed to do what we needed to do.
We had to take our medicine. Those who had to take their medicine, thank you for being responsible. Make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you stay hydrated.
And
Rumor-
elevated. Elevate all the elevated things.
Yeah. Rumor has it, it makes everything slow down if you don't stay hydrated. Yeah. I've heard that recently. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So you're a grower, not a shower like me.
Well,
So,
I mean, I like to do a little bit of both. I do like to take pictures of my flowers.
oh, okay. I was like, whoa, pictures of what?
just the flower, just the flower.
And you do show them off, yes. But when, on an average, I mean, is it? What's the laws there in Oklahoma, OKC?
Well, I mean, it's medical, so as long as you get a card,
you're allowed to have
you,
a certain amount to grow. Then,
yeah, six plants at home
per
and then
21-year-old in the home.
Yep.
With
Yep.
a card,
per card holder. Yep.
Right. And then and then from there, are you guys allowed to do that thing that Canada used to do, where you could be a grower for friends and stuff. If they don't know how to do it, you could grow for them.
I believe there is a caregiver program. Yes.
You can do that still in Michigan too.
Yeah, I know there's a couple. I was going to say that when I looked at you. I'm pretty sure you can do that over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Canada for a while. I don't know if they still can or if they changed the laws, whatever. But anyway, so are you allowed to do that? I didn't hear that answer. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There is a caregiver program down here.
So do you caregive for a bunch of people as well?
Oh yes, we're working towards it. I need to get the caregiver license or whatever.
Right. Okay.
But I decided to go the commercial route because I figured I was like, the amount of people that I'm gonna want to give care to would probably exceed the limit of whatever
world.
Yeah, because you're only allowed so many patients. If I understand the way yours is written.
He froze. You
Shoot.
okay, buddy? Get the chisel. Get the chisel, Skunky.
I know in Michigan, so we'll just keep going. I know in Michigan, you're only allowed so many patients if you're a caregiver. And I believe theirs is structured similarly, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I would think they're all somewhat similar. I mean, the plants, 12 to 6 to 4, I think it ranges anywhere. I mean,
Rich says in New York, too, it's also structured that way.
I was just going to say, Rich says New York as well. And Kyle here, he's
I think he fell asleep.
Oh, he's all right. Chisel, blow on his box.
I ain't blowing on nothing, man.
I'll wave at it. I'm not blowing on nothing.
See, I blew too hard and he blew right the hell out of here. God,
what did you do, boss man? What did you do?
I got halitosis. Yeah.
You're saying? He'll be back.
We came out all green, like when SpongeBob and Patrick ate that onion sundae. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
No, you don't. You guys didn't watch SpongeBob. Only I watch SpongeBob every day.
Okay, so I secretly really don't like SpongeBob. I admitted it. I said it.
I knew it. I love SpongeBob.
And that's fine. I encourage everybody who wants to love SpongeBob to love the shit out of SpongeBob.
Right.
Just don't expect me to sit with you and laugh.
I agree. Let me bring up something that I saw earlier. If I can get to it in time. I can't see. So hold on.
Jerry, that's awesome. Jerry, that's awesome.
All right. Here's something here. Yeah, I would still watch it. My sister watches it, so I watch it. So I go out.
And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I have cartoons that I love from back in the day. I have no shame in watching them at all.
All right, here we go. I got some news. So I just saw this today. I was reading it earlier, and it says, where is it? Legalization advocates are the majority. It's time to act like it. Okay, then it says normal op-ed. This is from normal. Okay.
Yep.
Normal op-ed. Normal Pennsylvania taxpayers spend billions on marijuana criminalization while neighboring states reap the benefits of legalization. Do you hear that, Pennsylvania, you bunch of dumbasses? It's my state, sorry.
Yes,
California says marijuana taxes are already too high and they're about to get worse, California. So the taxes are about to go up over there on your marijuana, so get ready for that. And then, of course, we've heard this, and this is still going on in Ohio. Others criticize GOP-led effort to roll back voter-approved marijuana legalization laws. They're trying to take your shit away over there in Ohio. You guys gotta get up. You gotta get off your asses. Get out of the couch. I know it's
It's not just about voting is the key part, but once you voted, you have to stand up for what you voted for. Because right now,
I'm sorry, Granny. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I've
No,
already
you're good.
for Ohio. I wrote for Pennsylvania. I said, "Yo, you dumbasses, you can't do this. You gotta." They voted. They approved it by 53%.
What did they say to you?
They didn't say nothing. They just ignored me. But it was worth. It was worth it. It was worth the try. Anyway,
like Rich says, New York is making millions. They're starting to rebuild roads.
oh my goodness, they need them. I used to live in New York. They got so many roads.
I don't think that the taxation in
We're
the weed in California is all that necessary. I think there's a lot of other people they could be. Yes,
He's made it, and we're in another room. We're
So
outside.
we had some technical difficulties.
We
Spending
noticed.
all day out in the garden, I might have forgotten to plug my phone in. Access to electricity out that far is difficult.
Gotcha. All right, so we can get back.
We've all been there.
We were just bullshitting about some of the crap going on in the world about weed, like the Ohioans trying to, not the Ohioans, they're getting screwed by their government up there. They're trying to roll back their shit. And then I read some other stuff. But let's move back to questions for you. I have them somewhere. Well, we were talking. What were we talking about?
We were talking about the way that they're taxing marijuana in California. I don't think that's necessary. I think that they're basically picking on marijuana as a whole to try and lower taxes for others. And I don't think that that's right.
I think there's a whole lot of that going on around here, but that's for another day, for another show.
Exactly.
That being said, Kyle, we were talking about you growing. So when you grow, you have are you allowed to say? I don't want to get you in trouble. Approximately, I mean, is a cute little garden?
The home garden is, yes. The
home garden.
The commercial garden is it's not very humble.
No, I want it to be robust and beautiful. Is that already going and up and going? Is for now commercial, as in like you send it to dispensaries?
Yes. Yep. So we just got handled through one of the last regulatory hoops that they threw at us. We had some sort of issue with the COO and an address change. So
many issues. I heard you talking about that with Summer the other day when you were on. I don't want to go into that too much because I get you, and I know it's been a bitch. I'm sure you've been, but I wanna go on to the growing stuff. I want to ask some questions and get some knowledge from you. When did you first? All right. Well, what do you do with the music and the sound and the bowls? Is that what you do with the bowls?
Yeah. Well, we use. I like big speakers. That's the ticket. Like I think like a wall of speakers would be ideal. However, we don't have the budget for that yet. I think we're working on it.
Right.
But the idea is when we're doing the solventless extraction, specifically at my business partner's extraction company, we'll take we take our speakers and we directionally point them at the wash vessel, right? And I tune into different frequencies, and I look up different DJs that also work with different solfeggio frequencies and different tuning frequencies based on the old ancient methods that a lot of Native American cultures and beyond even that. I mean, this is ancient wisdom that predates, we don't even really know how far sound technology really dates back. But we take that and it's that understanding that the vibrational energy from the sound is affecting the water, right? There's been a study that has been done on water and the
Yeah, I've
effects of
seen that.
human vibrational energy on
And your
water.
blood, like your blood, your body. You can when you go stand
Yeah.
in those bowls, they have a store here by me, a crystal shop, and you can go and stand inside the bowl, and they
Yes.
do that shit for you, and woo, you can feel your whole body like vibrating and the blood vibrating from the liquid inside. Yeah, it's crazy ass shit, man. Red eyes.
Yep. Yeah, the Tibetan singing bowls. My grandma used to have a bunch of those. That's kind of what
Yeah, they don't let
what inspired all that.
like, no, you're too big, fella. Get out. But they let the skinny people in. Yeah. They don't let
Took up too much smell.
I took up to, they're like, you know, hear the bell. You fat guy. Get out. Okay, no, sorry. Going on. Do the different strains respond to different frequencies though? Do you see when do you feel? Do you feel that? Do you test to feel that?
Oh yeah. Like for sure, especially when doing different like energy works and stuff. You know, it's when listening to certain sound frequencies, the brain feels a certain way. That's been proven as well. It's you know, there's a funny meme that went around the internet. It's a frog that's sitting in water, and the frog is making its mating call, and you can see the ripples in the water. That's literally what we're talking about here. And you can harness that same thing, and you can use that to manipulate the water molecules that you can then use in your extraction, and you can channel that through yourself too. And I we did a little fun experimentation where I was like, I'm gonna try to do a little hash making while I'm sad, and we're gonna see what happens. Yields weren't great, so I put on some happy music and I jammed out, did my thing, made sure all the levels were proper. My yields were almost double. You know what I mean? It's like, I wish.
That's just making what a bubble hash or whatever.
Yeah, bubble hash, rosin.
You were you pretended to be sad, or you were in a bad mood that day, and you were just like, "Fuck this shit."
Well, I was in a terrible mood that day, And sometimes making the medicine also heals the healer. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. So that's awesome. Going on. What kind of music or tones does your plants vibe with the most?
I like around the healing frequency. So like your 540 hertz, your 440 hertz. We're still kind of messing around with what really the plants themselves are going to vibe with the best. I find that honestly, the plants are pretty happy when I'm in the greenhouse dancing around with them. So
like when
we gotta figure that out. I need somebody smart with some sort of probe that can probe me while I'm dancing around in my greenhouse.
I don't think that you want to get probed, sweetie.
I don't.
I don't recommend that.
I don't.
I don't.
But it would be fun for science.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Did you ever have a grow where you felt like the plants talked back in their own way?
Oh yeah, especially like pest pressure or whatever. Oh yes. Environmental pressure is a hard one.
Wow.
But we beat that back with natural things.
Yeah. How do you stay energetically aligned when growing or extracting?
Oh, my favorite personal macronutrient is caffeine. I like that one a lot. Keeps the two farms cranking. So
coffee in a joint. That's my song right there. All right.
Yeah.
If someone wanted to start working with frequencies, where should they begin?
There's a whole lot of YouTube videos that are pretty great. There's a whole lot of educational information on that. I definitely recommend doing your own personal exploration into that, because everybody's intunology is a little different, right? Because we all resonate different frequencies as walking electromagnetic beings. So you kind of got to do your own, whatever resonates with you. Literally, whatever resonates with you is where you want to be at.
You get it, Skunky? Resonates. Oh, God. Say yes, hippie.
Yes, hippie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Listen, Skunky, do you have any questions? I didn't realize this was going to be so much science involved in here.
No,
We
hippie.
can go more. I can't wait to talk about how I want to build a rocket out of hemp and
Yeah,
make like the most
I have that.
self-sufficient rocket ever.
I have my own coming here.
We'll get there though.
Have you ever had a spiritual or psychedelic experience during your plant work?
You know, I do like to consume some mushrooms every now and then.
What's wrong with that?
Especially when in the garden, it does help. It does help. Not too much though. Never too much. Micro's where it's at.
Yes.
Here.
Otherwise, the
They didn't do
focus
that
is
when
just
I was a
gone.
kid. They didn't tell me that
Yeah.
when I was a kid and I was eating eights. And
Nobody knew that when you were a kid.
yeah, right. Now they tell me eat just a little bit. Now I'm all fucked up playing with puppets. But
Yeah.
tell me back then they say, hey, just take a little bit of that. No, eat an eighth, eat a quarter, eat an ounce. What the hell? Eat more.
In certain sets and settings that might be appropriate.
Well, I've gone to numerous Grateful Dead concerts that were perfect.
It's known to happen.
Anyway, moving on. Do you think rosin made with intention and vibration holds healing power beyond THC?
Yes.
Did that make any sense?
I believe that to be true with all medicine. Yeah. Specifically, you know, we take a look at certain industries, I think they've been a little skewed towards the profit over patient side. And I think we need to get back to the patient side.
That's what I keep saying, man. Stop fucking around. They're gonna take it all away from us, man. They're cutting corners. Give us more growers. Let the people grow. Oh, it's just so much.
Yeah. Our soil needs it too. It's like beyond the people, our earth literally needs it.
Yes. Yes. It's true.
Quite literally.
Absolutely. What's the most important non-physical thing a plant needs to thrive?
Most important non-physical thing.
Yeah.
Probably photons. You know, some radiation energy from the sun, for sure. Like the leaves are like little solar panels. It's pretty cool. Wind also helps in the transpiration process of the plant, for sure. Need a little bit of that. Need a little bit of that. You got to wick the moisture away so those ladies can get rid of their excess
and the right
moisture
amount of
properly.
wind strengthens that stalk so that you can have a plant that's a little larger.
Yep, that too. I forgot about that. The little bit of environmental stress helps.
But not too much. You don't want the wind laying it over in half all the time. That would be bad.
Yeah, that's where the farmer comes in and is like, let's fix that.
Yes.
Go any further. What's the perfect rosin to you and how?
Oh boy, the last batch that I made.
Know when you made it. Yeah, how do you know?
Yeah. The freshest stuff I can find.
The freshest, the last batch is always the best batch.
Although the next batch is also the best batch too. It's just, you know, it depends. I like to cure it a lot. So
gonna work for that one though. I don't know.
However long I feel the cure is best, it's all in the nose for me.
Oh, I would love to see you do it sometime. You got to show us sometime.
Yes.
Have you ever created a batch of rosin that felt alive?
That's an interesting question.
I didn't know so, but okay.
You know, I mean, all rosin's kind of alive, sort of. Based on, you know, because we harvest the plant when it's still alive.
Right.
So I don't know. It's kind of like all rosin is kind of alive to me.
Good question. Good answer. I like.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the non-live side, after, you know, there's you got your dry sift versions of hash, which is really cool too.
Sitting on the shelf for 2 weeks in the dispenser. I mean, 2 weeks, 2 months.
Yeah.
Selling shit that's old, dry, and dusty. You mother.
No, but there's a proper way. There's a proper way to cure it, for sure.
Well, no, I know. I'm not saying you, man. You do great. I'm sure. I'm talking about my dispenser. Kick their asses.
Are you sure?
Be dry ass shit. Yes, I'm sure. Have you ever created a batch of rosin? No, I said that one. What's your favorite part of the cultivation process and why?
I really like the cloning and the veg process. Those are two of my favorite things. It's like the best part of seeing them grow strong is that part, and that's when I can really like take my time with them to really kind of help them grow up strong. You know what I mean? Go through all the topping phases, go through all my LSTs and my high stress training, and really take the time to be with them, and then sending them off into flower is like, go ladies, go do your thing.
I'll smoke
After
you later.
smoke you later. We'll see you again in the bowl.
Yep.
Later. I like that. Yeah, the more I talk to you people, the more I learn that I am not a grower. I will never be a grower. I'm gonna stick to just showing, I think, just a shower.
Preferred cloning method. I really want to know. My husband is my cloner, and the man can clone with anything. He even clones with honey.
Yeah, I like using straight aloe vera, but honey works really great too because it's a natural antiseptic. So
Exactly.
I like that option, and it gives some nice complex carbohydrate strains that'll really help too.
Right.
Really bolster the root growth. I do recommend adding in some microbial stuff in there. Some bacillus, some trichoderma too.
Okay.
Helps. Just be careful with the trichoderma. You don't want to get too much of that all over the place, and use that in a controlled way. For sure.
Yeah, that would be very, very sparingly and very.
That leads me to my next question. What's a common mistake people make when trying to grow with love and intentions?
Going way too hard. I've been a victim of that. You kind of overthink the process, and you apply too much stress, and then all of a sudden things aren't fun anymore, and you're scrambling and racing to make things fun again. And you can oversteer your crop for sure.
Yes, and the plant feels it, and it just goes
very much like a woman trying to have children. The stress probably hampers the growth. I'm trying to make a point to somebody out there. Don't worry about it. Just go with me, all right? Cover me. All right. Hey, what do you balance?
She's busy. Quit picking at her.
With the sacred in your extract.
What was that one more time?
I'm gonna go on to the next. Look, I can't read it, so I'm skipping it. God damn it. What was the first strain you ever fell in love with, and do you still grow it?
The first strain I ever fell in love with.
Yeah.
Well, it's so hard because they're all so nice.
Trying to hold it down.
I think it was Afghan Hindu Kush. That was like my first love.
Let me ask you a question, young man.
Yes.
You are in your 30s at best.
Yep, I'm a 31 going on 32, I think.
You kids these days. Try some chocolate Thai. Try some
Thai stick?
Yeah.
Thai stick is amazing.
I would love to bring Thai stick back. I would love to bring that back. I was growing there was I think it was either a Peruvian landrace strain or one of those ones that I ran not too long ago, and it was pretty fun.
Why does nobody bring back OG Colombian gold?
Oh, the Acapulco gold, yes.
No, Colombian gold.
The Colombian?
Colombian gold is a whole other level, and I haven't had it since the 90s. And Lord, I'd love it again.
Bring back good old brickweed with the seeds and the stems. I miss that.
Yeah, I wonder how that tested.
I miss having a record player.
Have that tested.
Album, just lifting up all the fucking seeds for an hour, trying to just get the seeds out for an hour, just scraping up the side of my double-sided album so I can get the seeds.
Sharon says she remembers Jamaican Red.
Jamaican Red, yeah. All right, moving on. Business, brands, and global vibes. That's our next topic. You ready? How do you choose
Becky, thank you, darling. Becky remembers Colombian gold. Haha.
when consulting?
Be quiet.
Did you hear that one, Kyle? I'm sorry. How
Nope.
do you
One more time.
How do you choose who you work with when consulting?
Oh, it's difficult. You know, you got to be, but choosing business people to work with in business in general is often difficult. You know,
I'll
you got
say.
to be careful out there in any world. You know,
Dog
in
eat
any
dog
world.
out there, and everybody's out to get your ass. Step on your forehead on the way up. That's what I think. And they're like, yeah, oh, thank you.
It happens, you know, but
Yeah.
you live and you learn, and you support the ones that support you back, and that's where it's at. You know,
Yep. You
the
learn
people
the hard way.
that are going to be receptive are the ones that, you know. It's like the old Amish saying, you vibe with your tribe.
Dahlia's here. Hi, Dahlia.
Do you consult with your father?
Do you consult with your father?
You know, it's been a while since I talked to my dad for sure. We need to do that. He used to do some tax work for sure.
Ooh, the tax
Yeah,
work's not fun.
How's that?
Not fun.
I thought you guys worked together, you and Dad.
Me and my father Jimmy do, yeah.
Oh, a different father. Okay. All right.
Stepdad, yeah.
What's something you learned from the German cannabis scene that surprised you? See, I know
That there even was a German cannabis scene.
What? You didn't know? Come on.
No, I didn't.
Go to the red light district, man. That was over there, right? Am I thinking the right place? Like, yeah.
I knew about the Amsterdams and the coffee shops, but
yeah, but that's German, isn't it? Isn't that all? That's what I'm thinking.
German.
Oh, my buddy's been over there for 25 years smoking like crazy, living the dream until they just recently. So he can't even smoke inside the bar now. They just took it away. You can't smoke weed in the bar anymore. God damn it. He was very pissed. Very pissed. He has to roll it on the bar, and then he has to take it outside and stand out front and smoke it. Now they don't let him smoke weed inside.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
They let us. Certain bars down here, we can. We're allowed to bring our certain devices in that produce vapor.
Right.
Yeah. As long as when we were talking about patients for safe access earlier, you know, like my state, you're testing all those things. I am not allowed to use any of those things in my state. I'm not allowed. All I'm allowed to do is vaporize. So I'm not even worried about what you're testing unless I'm breaking the law or doing something that I shouldn't be doing. So that means that I can do whatever I want in the privacy of my own home. But you know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, we're only supposed to be vaporizing it here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Although I can see, like, in bars, you know, they used to let people smoke cigarettes in bars, right? And it's not like there's any children in that bar. So what's the problem with smoking some reefer in a bar?
Cigarettes.
Well, it's the secondhand smoke has a little bit of a different effect in a bar.
That's true. If it's closed in, for sure. If it's closed in, I'd say maybe a designated smoking spot would be the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard that marijuana secondhand smoke doesn't even affect you in any way. So you can't get high from it or you can't be affected.
Oh no, I've seen people get nice contact buzzes.
That's them thinking they're high, and it's called placebo effect. The placebo effect.
What?
I'm in the same room. I don't know. We'll see.
Whatever you say, boss. You got it.
What makes Greenlight 2020 and Mom and Son Enterprises different from any other cannabis brands?
Oh, well, I mean, can't really separate. All cannabis brands are unique in their own special ways. I'd say it's probably just all the passion and stuff that goes into it. That's really kind of what separates, you know, the men from the boys there. But Mom and Son handles most of the homestead stuff, so you really can't call that a cannabis brand per se.
Right.
I wish we could. It'd be nice. My mom would love it.
We could grow anything over here.
Does your mom make treats with cannabis? I must know.
No, I wish. Unfortunately, she doesn't do too well with cannabis, and I think it's because it's an interaction with the pharmaceuticals they got her on. But I don't know. What do I know?
I know.
Right.
I understand where you're coming from. Yep.
Yeah.
What advice would you give a passionate grower who wants to go pro without losing their soul?
Read books.
Reading is fundamental. I've been
Read
hearing
books. Watch YouTube. Ask me questions. You can hit me up. I mean, my social medias are open. You know, if you're out there looking to learn and you just want to expand your knowledge, feel free. You know, obviously, if we get to a point where you're hitting me up every day, we might have to work out something. But
we might have a job,
you
yeah,
know,
we might have to start working there.
yeah, exactly. But you know,
Have you ever
or we
faced
can find someone.
back for blending spirituality and cannabis business, and how do you respond?
One more time to the beginning. I kind of missed the
Have
beginning
you
of
ever
that part.
faced pushback for blending spirituality and cannabis business?
Oh yeah, all the time, all the
And
time.
how do you respond with
I
this?
don't.
Bafangul, go to hell. You don't know. Yeah, hey, let me.
I don't. Or I try to educate at least, like you know,
You gotta do.
try to gently guide someone into what you know. This is my version of my understanding. So
You're
you know,
smoking weed and doing spiritual shit. Are you kidding me? That's not right. That's not right.
I mean, they got weed church.
Right? You can't tell me that's right. You don't believe in Jesus. Oh, sorry. Moving
Well,
on.
you know what? Jesus walked around on hemp sandals, so I don't think he cares.
He certainly did. Thank you, Jeebus. Anyway,
I wonder what the original Bible was written on.
yeah,
Hemp.
I would think.
Bingo.
I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
One would think, yeah.
What's one healing story you'll never forget from someone who has used your medicine?
Oh, that would definitely be my my stepfather Jimmy for sure. He had stage 3 thyroid cancer. And we did what we do, and we made medicine for him.
The good stuff.
And the doctors had given him a time frame. You know, it was one of those situations where they're like, you have X amount of time.
Can I ask you RSO? Was it RSO or was it
It was a combination. It was a combination of things. It was a full spectrum, you know, multi-pronged approach, especially with dealing with something in the thyroid. You know, I wanted to be able to target both the outside and the inside, as well as he was having like digestive issues as well. So we wanted to target that too. So it's kind of like a, you know, we got to hit the topicals, we got to hit the eating it, we got to hit the smoking it. Well, not the smoking it helps more with the mental than anything, and then the eating it in conjunction with the topicals helped target what we needed to target real quick. So it's, you know, there's no one size fits all kind of treatment there. It's kind of like you got to hit it from all angles, and that's when you're looking at cancers like that, and you're looking at using cannabis as an alternative to the chemotherapies. You have to take a look at the cancer itself and where it is, and then take a look at the cancer itself and how it's affecting the body, and then you go from there. You know, is it a melanoma? Well, if it's a melanoma, let's use a topical, right? If it's an internal or a stomach issue or something that's in the esophagus, specifically esophagus, let's use some concentrates like some specifically solventless hash rosin, because of the lipids and all the other cannabinoids in there. They're going to coat that area, right? And they're going to get in there the best. They're going to break that blood barrier with the lipids that are in there to target that specific area. And, you know, it gets in there. You know,
I mean,
there's some more scientific words that somebody that's a little more smarter than me can discuss. But that's the kind of thinking that we need to really kind of change. It's not like a, hey, take this pill. It's going to be, you know, this pill is going to do it for you, or necessarily just smoking. It's a
Right.
broad spectrum kind of thing, and it dives into like the some of the things and understandings that we've developed along the way. Is like it's beyond just the consumption too. The cultivation side of it is also very healing, especially in conjunction with the music, man. Like there's nothing I love more. Even talking about it makes me smile. Like putting my headphones on, getting out in the garden, and my family agrees too because they love doing it.
I got a question. So I have a friend who just had some stuff done, and it looked like everything was going to be good, and then they came back and they said, "I think we still want you to go through some radiation and chemo just to make sure." And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, they said they got it all. Why put your body through that? I would love for you to sit down and, if you wouldn't mind, speak with her and see what you can talk to her about, because she's not afraid of the flower. She likes it, but she's new to it. Do you have a Discord?
I don't. I should get one. My best contact. Jump on my Instagram. That's the best way to contact me. Or my emails. Emails are always good. I'll link them. I'll send over my best contact info to you. And I think I have my email also listed on my socials too.
Yeah, I have your email. We're good. All right. So I appreciate that. Thank you. What role do animals play in your relationship with plants and people?
Oh, that just adds into the full cycle of all the things. It's in caring for the plants, we also care for the animals that then in turn care for the plants, right? And in turn of, in the case with my stepdad Jimmy, him taking care of the animals takes care of him, and he takes care of the plants that also take care of him. It's a full cycle approach to the fun.
But yeah, you're 100% right. It's not just the medicine as well. It is the keeping yourself busy, keeping your mind occupied, not thinking about the stuff that's making you ill, thinking about the positive things, making sure that you're happy, making sure that you're hydrated, making sure you're doing the things to keep your engine running the best it can. Without, and then adding these medicines is just a bonus as well. I mean, for the pain, first off, if you have any pain, it's gonna work for you for the hour at least. I have severe pain, and her name is Michelle, or Mrs. Hippie, some call her, but I give her some of that, and she's good for an hour at least. Then she's back. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I love you, Mrs. Hippie. I love you.
He adores her. It's fact.
No, I'm dead.
Yeah. It's like I dream of a day where it's looked at as more of a vitamin, right? You take it like when you take vitamin C when you're sick.
Well, everybody, I say this, Kyle, I say this, everybody should take, first off, I think everybody should be on CBD. Everybody should be on CBD. You should take a regimen of CBD every morning. Get up, put a couple drops under your tongue, flip, you don't taste it, you move on with your day, you're on your day. When you stop taking that CBD, that's when you're going to be like, holy shit, why does my body hurt? What aches? Why is these pains back? Where did I didn't know my knee hurt again. And that's what you're going to see there. Go ahead.
I agree. And CBD is also super beneficial in balancing out, when you do, if you're out, consuming and you feel that maybe you have over consumed, CBD is a great way to balance out maybe any negative effects of any potential overconsumption. It's a wonderful,
very true.
It's a wonderful additive.
I keep some around to when I have a good high. Like if I take a little too much RSO, which happens quite often here, I don't have the craving for any more marijuana, but I still want that oral fixation. So I puff on some CBD over here, and that just keeps me happy.
Yep. So that helped me. Well, it's currently helping me get over nicotine.
Yes. It also helps the green hangover.
Yes.
Does it?
Yes.
It would be better for me the next day after my RSO hangover, and I feel like greatness, but a little foggy. It helps with the fogginess. Is that what you're saying? Very cool. Did you see a connection between the Earth's suffering and our need I'm sorry. It's do you see a connection between the Earth's suffering and our need for plant medicine?
Yes,
Thank you. That's all.
110%.
Okay.
110%. I mean, beyond plant medicine too, fungal too. If you take a look at
What's my
if you
ball
take
got to do with anything? Where's he
yeah,
talking?
if you take a look at the current ecological trends, our current environment is trending towards bioremediation. I mean, scientists are finding nematodes that are eating microplastics and certain funguses that are degrading uranium, and it's from my environmental science background and some of the studies I've done in high school and in my brief time in college before dropping out, you know, ecological succession was a big thing that really kicked into my brain, and I'm like, well, that extends beyond just plants, animals, and the environment we're in. That also you can tie that into human beings as well, and how the plants, animals, mushrooms, and things you know, affect the humans and bring about certain understandings within the human that the human can then go out and educate other humans on, like what I'm doing right now.
Right. That's what we do.
It's a
We try to
wonderful,
do
it's a
every day.
wonderful thing. It's nature doing what nature does.
Right. We try to educate every day over here. Sometimes we're not very successful. We get very high and we have a great time. But we
Well,
try to.
that's education
We try
too.
and combine it.
That's education too. You're messing around and you're finding
I
out.
don't speak for those two. They probably do a great job. I get very high and I fuck up and I do lots of things. Anyway, that being said, we got to move along. We're running out of time. We did that one. How does your own healing journey inform the way you grow and extract? Does that make any sense? How does
Yeah.
your own healing journey, inform the way you grow? Inform just doesn't sound like the right word. Go ahead. Does it make sense to you? It don't make
It does. It does. Well, it's that personal. It's that personal and that introspective thing, and that kind of ties back into that ecological succession thing that we talked about a little bit, previously. Is nature just wants to grow and thrive and do what it's going to do.
Yeah.
Skunky, do you have any questions, sir?
No,
All right, you're good. You look a little confused over there.
I was watching along on YouTube. Sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. You're checking yourself out on YouTube. Is that what you said?
Yes.
It's not the first time you've
I've
said
been checking us all out on YouTube.
How do you define medicine when it comes to cannabis?
They're interchangeable.
It's the same thing.
In my book, yeah.
I agree.
Yep, I agree.
I got what's your daily ritual what's a daily ritual you do to stay in alignment with your mission? What's the daily ritual that you do to stay in line with a mission that you have, your mission?
Routine for sure. Routine for sure. And the garden helped with that. And that's part of what cannabis helped me with the most, and why I say the cultivation side is the most healing, because I used to be a really bad alcoholic, really bad alcoholic, right?
Me too.
And then I started growing for myself, and like instead of going out to the bar and going drinking, I was like, I had to get home to water my plant.
Yeah,
And so that's kind of what really helped me like kick the bottle and change my life around, right? Because the alcohol kind of ruined my life, and it it put me behind bars, and it put me deep into debt, and since I put the bottle down and I put the seed in the ground, my life has been, other than regulatory red tape, my life has been exponentially better.
God bless Pickle Bush. I agree. That is an amazing story. I love that story. That was better than your other. No, your other story with your stepfather was great too. If you could teach the whole world one thing about cannabis and consciousness, what would it be? Consciousness.
Probably to love yourself, love your community, and above all, love the plant too. right? And then
Right.
extend that love and that knowledge to your community. So, which is why I'm super grateful for my time here today.
Oh.
Everybody, you know, been a wonderful time, minus the technical difficulties, of course.
Oh, well, that's all right. That's why we ran.
We're
over.
known for those.
Okay, we're known for, that's what we're known for over here in the green room, is technical difficulties. I got a couple more. Do your plants ever give off main character energy? Like you walk into the grow and one's like, yeah, I'm that bud.
Bruce Lee.
All the time. I find different winners throughout the phenotypic expressions quite frequently, and I'm like, oh, this one's extra pretty, and then we keep it around for a while, and then we pop some more seeds, and I find another one. But yeah.
Oh, so many more questions. If your hash rosin was a superhero, what would its powers be, and what would you name it? Of course, what would you name it?
It'd probably be like 24/7. We call it Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
I love it. I love it.
All right, one last question, and then we got to go.
Batman.
Be honest. Have you ever had a full-on conversation with your plants while blasting music, and they totally understood you?
In my head, yeah, for sure. You know,
All right.
for sure.
Do you make up songs for them? I have to know.
I do sing for them sometimes. I like dancing for them more, though. I feel that they can
cool.
they can feel my feet stomping on the ground.
Absolutely.
And they know, they're like, oh, it's this guy, the happy guy again, and he's gonna feed me and water me. And
I love that.
yeah, it's cool. And you can see it
great
too.
story,
Like I see it when I walk in my grow room. It's wonderful.
Now, do you grow indoors and outdoors? Just indoors, outdoors, indoors, outdoors.
We were indoor. We've since moved to light depth greenhouse, and then our little nursery part's on the inside.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
a nice setup.
Very
Thank
nice.
you, thank you. I love light depth. It's fun. It's hard out here in Oklahoma, but when you get the things dialed in properly, it's manageable.
Wow. We wish you nothing but luck. We love you. Thank you so very much for being here and coming.
And we want to have you back as often as you want to come back.
Absolutely, you're always welcome to come back. What is KY sign? What is KY in that? Besides the jelly, that's what I was thinking.
Oh my god!
Well, yeah, KY for Kyle. But I've always made a funny joke, and it's kind of an inside joke from high school.
Okay.
I kind of had like a pipe dream of being a DJ.
Well, call
And
me.
I always said my DJ name would be DJ KY, smooth like jelly.
Nice. I love it.
So that's kind of where that came from.
Hit
And
me up. I need
it's like a big inside joke, but I also love science, and my name's Kyle.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like also a play on Bill Nye, the science guy. Instead of an NY, it's a KY. Yeah.
I love it.
It's
you
a
so
full
much.
circle funny.
Absolutely. Seriously, if you're interested, I'm looking for DJs. I got a couple shifts open. Hit me up. We're always looking for stuff. That being said, I can't thank you enough. Like I said, you are an amazing man. The shit you do is amazing. I'm so grateful to have gotten to meet you and talk to you. And I can't thank you enough for being here. And you're always welcome back. Please come back.
Sounds good. Let's run it back next Friday at 8 p.m.
I don't know. I might already have that booked. I have to look at
We do. Next Saturday, though.
Sunday.
Saturday. Let's do it.
Sunday. I know. Everybody out there on Live 365 and tune in, please. And thank you so much for being here. We love you. Peace, love, hippie hugs, and a whole shitload of nugs to you. Everybody here on Facebook, YouTube, thank you so much. Kyle, thank you so much. Have a great night, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you all.
I'm not going to do that to you, Granny. Sorry. I'll start it over.
No, you're fine. I said thank you, everybody, and much love to you.
Yeah. Make Skunky say goodbye to you. Skunky, say goodbye.
Peace.
I'm gonna jump off too. Thank you guys.
All right. Have a great one, everybody. Thank you so much.
Smoke up in the green room. Smoke your worries away. In the green room we'll stay. In the green room. the green room, smoke your worries away. In the green room we'll stay.